Building 2283 on Kadena's base housing was notorious for being the single most haunted house in the entire U.S. military. No one lived there for a long time because no one could stand to stay there. It was said that an Air Force officer murdered his entire family there before killing himself sometime in the 1970s. The next military family to move into the house experienced feelings of unrest and paranoia until the father of the family stabbed everyone. Passerby reported hearing sounds of children crying, strange laughter, and in one instance, reporting a woman washing her hair in the abandoned house sink. Teachers at the daycare next door complained of children on the playground throwing toys over the fence because the little kids on the other side asked them to. The building is actually a single-unit family home that sits in a residential area reserved for mid-grade officers or civilians of comparable rank. Each year during the week leading up to Halloween, Building 2283 becomes a focal point for tour groups visiting spooky sites on Okinawa. Tour guides tell of murders former residents committed and of eerie occurrences. Water faucets and lights turning on and off by themselves. Apparitions of samurai warriors riding horses through the house. The base officially stopped assigning families to the home years ago. April Merriling, director of Kadena's Information Ticket and Travel Office, recalled one frightening moment a few years ago while she was given the annual Spooky Sites tour. It was late at night, and as 30 people gathered in the backyard to hear the recounts of the history of the home, suddenly, the phone started ringing in the house. That was enough to send everyone darting for the bus. Nobody orchestrated the phone call to enhance the effect of the Halloween scare, Marlene said. As far as she knew, there wasn't even a working phone line connected to the house. Another group visiting the house in the mid-1990s had a similar experience. As the tour guide began speaking, a curtain parted in front of the entire tour group. That was enough to break up the tour for the evening. For some years after housing officials stopped offering the home as a residence, USO personnel used the house, which sits behind the USO parking lot, for storage. Johnson said he had heard all the stories and was curious to check out the house, so he and some fellow USO employees went inside. Although it was summer and nearly 100 degrees outside, he said the house was ice cold, as if the air conditioning had been left on high. Because past residents have often complained about one room being much colder than the rest of the house, base officials knocked down that room. Besides the chill he felt in the unair-conditioned house, Johnson said he saw bloodstains on the floor and on the old curtains. It was an extremely eerie experience going into the house. One could almost feel the presence there, Johnson said. Author Jane Hitchcock wrote about the residents in her 1995 book, The Ghost of Okinawa, which documented a number of Okinawan tales. From her research, Hitchcock determined the most frequently heard and most horrifying story is of the teenage girl who was stabbed to death by her stepfather. They were the last family to live in that house. In her book, Hitchcock details how she held a seance in the house Halloween night in 1994. During the seance, she said she spoke with the spirit of a little girl who played with the spirit of a little boy. The girl said she was afraid of the man on the horse. The author noted how the candle flame would jump up 4 or 5 inches every time she would ask a question that required a yes or no answer. She claimed to have a recording device that picked up whispers of spirits answering the questions. Although many people asked her to do more seances in the house, Hitchcock said she was so spooked and unnerved by her experience, she never returned to the house again. If any of you have any ghost experiences in Okinawa that you'd like to share, please leave a comment below. And if you have anything to add on Building 2283, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.